this is how social media impacts us. So we have our generation, our perception, mental health, and relationships. This is how it impacts our generations. Before, technology was very limited, and at first there was none. We had to communicate face to face. Over the years, technology has evolved, causing our communication too as well. Before, we had letters, telegrams, phones were limited, they became unlimited, then we have texting, and then now we have our instantaneous social media and smartphones. Next, this is positive impacts of our generation. Enhanced communication, we can now connect with anyone from anywhere, food, transportation, hospital, anything with one click. Organization, we can now have apps that access our plans and our day-to-day lifestyles with our family, friends, groups, whatever, and we get reminders. Thirdly, we can actively keep up with current issues and engage in the media. Before, we had to wait days, maybe even weeks to hear about news. Now we can get it instantly and then engage with each other with similar beliefs. Our negative impacts are developing social skills. Often we want to stay inside instead of going out to communicate. So now we just would like to stay inside and just text and do whatever. Secondly, our ability to focus. We are often distracted when it comes to technology. We're addicted without even realizing it. In a recent study, both students and instructors were analyzed on the use of technology in the classroom. 478 students and 37 instructors were surveyed. 49% said the use of technology in the classroom was distracting them. So thirdly, paper scoring. We often hear older generations complain about everything being digital and they want the traditional pen and paper. So does that really have an effect? In a study that was found, at least in Massachusetts, it was districts that switched to online testing that had a higher prior achievement. Back when everyone was taking tests on paper, these districts scored consistently higher after each year. Then once those districts switched to online testing, their achievement fell and it was closer to what the lower performing districts were experiencing. This is a diagram about the negative effects of social media. Our highest is bullying, and then we have harms relationship and in-person contact, unrealistic views of others' lives, causing distractions, peer pressure, causes of mental health issues, and drama in general. Overall, social media is growing in each generation. Younger generations are already adapted to the advanced technology. The older generations like the traditional ways. While some are open-minded and are trying the digital world, it's just very complicated for them to use. While social media has negative impacts, it also has many positive that help our society access information and our generations connect with one another. This is a chart about percent of adults in the United States that either have a smartphone, tablet, or use social media, and as you can see, the media is on the rise.
Okay, so next we're going to talk about relationships and social media. So we're going to talk about what is a relationship. A relationship is a connection with two people, which either can be positive or negative. So there are multiple types of relationships: family relationships, romantic relationships, friendships, and acquaintanceships. These different forms of relationships can vary in the closeness of two individuals or groups. So more than likely you're going to experience one of these in your life. So social media can affect the relationships in our generation. Social media in our generation is getting creative with apps that can get messages, videos, and pictures to people around the world in the blink of an eye. So, and sometime in your day-to-day, you're probably going to use TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, or Tinder. And in the study, we found out that 59.4% of 5.1 billion people using the internet on social media during the pandemic, there was an increase on social media usage. And so teens aged from 13 to 18 spent an average of 8 hours and 39 minutes on screens in 2022, up from 7 hours and 22 minutes of the year before. So with the generation that we live in, these are common apps that we use in every day. We base ourselves off these apps. These apps seem to control our lives when we are in the presence of, we're not people. We seem to constantly be using these apps and using them to communicate. So the conflicts that we learn about social media is that quality time in a relationship decreases due to social media and media usage. A person can scroll on social media app while being in person, and that leads to high-tended jealousy in a romantic relationship. Different behaviors is talking to others, potentially partners, that lead to breakup in a relationship, or being able to video chat leads to risky behavior. And then the negative effects of a friendship is peer pressure, drugs, alcohol, and sexting. Gossiping and bullying and judgment can be made behind a keyboard. So social media can lead to false perception. It can be filtered for your life, as people tend to create an ideal world rather than what it is in real life. People do not get to build a relationship with the real. And then catfishing that you'll see on Tinder usually, which is a false identity to gain a relationship as a friend or romantic partner. And then insecurities and want to gain acceptance.
In today's society, social media is a huge platform that advocates and spreads mental health awareness. Over the years, social media has become more popular, and we rely on social media to keep track of those long-distance friends and relationships. Social media can help mental health professionals collect and gather data to help extend and better their research to fully understand. Provides resources for intervention and support for mental health. Social media is a big platform that spreads mental health awareness and has groups for support. And this is a great way for individuals to receive the help and they need to and join a community so they don't feel like an outcast and alone. Then I found by chance a closed group on Facebook. These women are my kind of women. They are honest, they have no regrets for being themselves and speak their truth. I felt like I belonged here. I can be me with no regrets, no worries of being judged. This is an article from Riley Lee. She has first-hand experience struggling with mental health and social media, helping her feel like she belongs and laugh again. Open new communication pathways. Social media has the capability to allow us to find peers that have the same interests and beliefs as us, which will allow us to form a community to feel like you belong. Social media allows us to keep up on our friends and family's day-to-day lives because it's hard to stay in contact long distance. This allows us to feel close to our friends and family, providing us comfort and happiness. Negative impact on mental health. Addictive. Social media has the same kind of effect on the brain as playing a slot machine. You're never what content will appear. Spontaneous results cause the feeling of the reward, which releases dopamine. Feelings of missing out. Scrolling is another reason why social media is so impacting. With your friends and classmates are on social media, you may feel fear of missing information that keeps you connected. This can have an effect on studying. This can lead to stress, procrastination, less attention to information, loneliness, and or anxiety. Focusing on interactions when sharing content, we often focus on likes, views, and interactions we do or do not receive. We will often compare our content to others and feel disappointment, low self-esteem, distraction, anxiety, and or depression. A recent study published in the Journal of American Medical Association revealed that teens who use social media more than 3 hours per day may be heightened risk for mental health problems. Since the pandemic, there are many uptick in depression, anxiety among teens, especially in low self-esteem disorder, eating, body image issues, and suicidal thoughts.
Lastly, what is perception? Perception is the interpretation your brain makes based on what you see, hear, smell, feel, taste, and the information that is already stored in your brain, in your memory, sorry. Perception can have a both negative and positive effect on someone's mindset. The perception of things we know today, like certain brands, are heavily influenced by social media. The negative effects the perception on social media. Social media can portray people as something they actually aren't. Social media influencers use Photoshop to make their look the way society thinks they should look. Brands also can make their own selves look better to boost their sales. The positive effects are you can make your perception on social media to be who you are and who you want to be. You can express yourself on who you actually are than what others want you to be. You can also have whatever you want or do not want on social media to be the perception of your true self. Social media perception versus reality. In social media, everyone presents themselves a certain way, the way they want the world to see them. Most of us are guilty of using filters to make ourselves look better when posting, which can actually cause us to compare ourselves to others, which can lead to a dissatisfaction of the way we look. Social media distorts perception of emotion, appearance, and opinions. And the list goes on of social media, what social media can distort. Teenagers in self-perception are more likely to say social media makes them feel more confident and included rather than excluded or insecure. This shows that like more people feel included when social media is like present, and then excluded when social media is not present. Insecure, confident, fake, and then authentic, reserved, and outgoing with social media. That's all.